It's Friday, so it's time for our Agile, Not So Agile episode of the Daily Stand Up Podcast. And I thought I'd talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart. So I had someone ask me a question, and it shook me to the core. They said, so it seems like you don't have any fears or anything you're afraid of. And I sat and thought about it, and I'm like, I can't think of a lot of things that scare me. I mean, I can think of things that make me uncomfortable, but not necessarily things that scare me. So it begged the question, is it okay to not have fear? So I sat and thought about this, and I came up with two different schools of thought. So I thought I'd share with you what was going on in my mind, and maybe get your feedback and your comments, see if there are things that you're scared of or not, and if I'm on the right track, if I'm crazy. So for me, the first thing I thought of is it normal to not be afraid? And I attribute this to, as I was younger, I probably watched way too many horror movies, thriller movies, those types of things. And I was surrounded by domestic abuse a little bit. And what I can tell you is I never feared because I always felt like I could regain control. And for me, I guess that's a good thing because I was never in a situation where I felt like I was unable to have control. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Whether it's, I hear people all the time say, I'm afraid of heights, I'm afraid of spiders, I'm afraid of snakes, whatever it is. I don't have those fears. It's just weird. Um, but one of the things that I also thought of was if I had to pick one thing, just one thing that would, I don't know if fear is the right word, but something that would make me sad or put me off balance. And I think it would be a fear of just loneliness. If I was the last person standing, the last person on earth, I think I'd be miserable. It reminds me, my son had us watch The Last Man on Earth. It was a series, a TV series. And Tandy was quite the character. It was pretty funny. But what I can tell you is there were some things in that show that made me have to really think and do another evaluation, a second take, if you will, where I asked myself, I said, ooh, I said, that's kind of rough. And I think loneliness would probably be one of the very few things that I might fear. I don't want to be alone. I want to have friends. I want to have acquaintances. I want to have a relationship, right? Those things are important to me because I'm a social creature. So for me to go and be somewhere by myself for a long time, whether it's a business trip or whatever, most people would enjoy that and have a good time. For me, I don't enjoy that as much. And it's not that I don't enjoy, being in a different place or whatever. I just don't enjoy being in a different place without anybody that I'm close to. So I guess my piece of advice for you is this. Is it okay to not have fears? Maybe. But we should all have something that keeps us in check. And for me, not having some of those fears could be more strange than just having fears inevitably. I don't know. But the one thing that I can say is this, and maybe this is part of my Asperger's, that maybe I don't understand the fear. And that worries me. I'll tell you that right now. That worries me because I keep thinking of someone else who was a certified Scrum trainer and a dear friend of mine, Mike Beadle, and what he went through. And he had a very rough situation happen to him in Chicago where he lost his life. But what I can tell you is I don't know that he knew he was in trouble. And I feel like if anything like that ever happened to me, I'd probably be the same way. Um, so I guess the moral of the story is it's okay to have fears if you're good at overcoming fears, but it's not okay to have fear if you let fear rule your every decision. The only way you can overcome fear is to face it and to plow through it, but don't let fear rule your life. But also, on the flip side of that, don't be so unaware that you put yourself in precarious situations. I guess that does it. So that's going to do it for this episode. I know it's a strange one, but I wanted to answer a question. If you have a question you want me to answer, feel free to reach out, learn more at AgileDad.com. I'd love to hear from you. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next week, do take care. Have a great weekend. Bye now.